At the end of August in 1982, City Channel Pittsburgh came on the air with a state-of-the-art television studio and production facility. Over the course of the next 30 years, the faces who worked there changed quite a bit, but the equipment changed very little. This is the story of how, starting in 2014, City Channel Pittsburgh got the upgrade it so desperately needed, and it is told by the 4 people most involved in the project. Matthew Bernardini is a field engineer for RPC Video, and he has been doing it for almost 10 years. Steve Obenrader is the sales manager for RPC Video and has been working in AV sales since 1986. James Sloss is the Deputy Director of Administration for the City of Pittsburgh Department of Innovation and Performance and has worked for the city for 15 years. David Feiner manages City Channel Pittsburgh and has worked in PEG Access Television for over 2 decades. Let's start by finding out what they each thought of the facility the first time they saw it.
I thought it was a big, sprawling mess that was on the verge of breaking any minute, and I was very scared of getting involved with it.
It was like walking into a little history lesson in video. I thought, oh my God, I just couldn't believe all the stuff that was here that was still semi-functional.
There was a Pittsburgh Post-Gazette article done on us, and I am quoted as saying that this place had a museum-like quality. And that's completely true. This place was like a museum.
We were looking at equipment that was being used in the 80s that was still being used in the early 2000s.
I was honestly very shocked that anything was still running. It's probably a testament to how well the system was built and designed.
I don't know how people here kept it patched together enough to actually make it work. You had old tape machines, a lot of tape-based systems that were too hard to maintain.
It was time for this particular renovation 15 years ago. It was time for this particular renovation now because the new generation of workers here at City Channel Pittsburgh shouldn't have been forced to use technologies they'd never seen before.
We had the funds and the capability to upgrade and get this equipment to a point where we were actually producing good, solid video. We weren't just broadcasting city council meetings.
The day that we destroyed the control room was a big day, I think because we've been working up to it for such a long time. It's a pretty easy thing to come in and cut all the wires and get some furniture dollies and move everything out of the room. But what led up to that was identifying every single wire in this enormous system and figuring out what could be cut and what was necessary to save. And we had worked our way down every single wire for months and months on end. And so that was a pretty gratifying process to actually kind of wipe the slate clean and start over.
The old engineering system was crammed into this back room. It had who knows how many pieces of equipment that were and weren't functional, things that had been stringed together, taken apart partially. And when we saw that and started to take it apart, I thought, it's about time this is gone. It's time for something that's more flexible and more modern in here. We
started with an old, cramped, poorly lit room. So what I did is I knocked down a wall and I made this desk space that is easy to use, easy to function around, and allows people who have to work there for many long hours the opportunity to be comfortable.
Where we once needed 4 staff members to oversee a council hearing, we're now able to split that into 2 teams. One team can be out in the field shooting other events, and one team can be here in the city-county building shooting city council meetings. By doing this, we have a lot more opportunity to produce higher quality video for the channel. I see that the role of the Cable Bureau and the staff expanding exponentially. It's a good time to be a member of City Cable Team.
My hope is that this will be a very stable system that's going to be take whoever's here into the next 20 or 30 years.
I think it's going to serve the city very well to have this kind of flexibility where field work, studio work, work inside the building that we have access to is all going to be able to be done here, and I think it means a bright future here.
We are finally in the 21st century, And I could not be more happy to hand this over to the city and let them see what City Channel Pittsburgh can do for the next 30 years. My staff over the last 16 months has been nothing short of phenomenal. They may not have always seen what the final vision was going to be, but they have been extremely patient with me as I have knocked walls down, taken out ceiling tiles, had piles and piles of cables and piles of equipment lying around, where they've had to tippy-toe through a lot of things that they may not have thought they were going to do that day. So my staff has been fantastic, and I want to thank them for that.
Thank you for joining us for this special presentation. For more information about this and other projects from the City of Pittsburgh's Department of Innovation and Performance, please visit our website. I'm Christy Haller-Schmidt for City Channel Pittsburgh.